this computer. All right, we are on spiral review 7 through 9. I got to get rid of my background so that you guys can actually see me and not have it blur out. There we go. All right, spiral review number 7. The first one says, what is another way to write 12/5? So this one was tricky because if you were like me, you looked at it and you simplified it and you said, well, that's the same as 12 divided by 5, which is 2 2/5. But that wasn't one of the answers. So then I had to say, well, it's certainly not 5/12. I'm crossing that one out. And 1 plus 5/5 would equal 2. So I'm crossing that one out. 1 plus 7/5, that would be like 5/5 plus 7/5. 5 and 7 make 12. So 12/5. Yeah, that one works. C. And the last one again, 4/5 plus 1/5 equals 5/5. So that would have been 2. So that one's out. So I had to use the process of elimination on that one, but it's 1C. So this is spiral review 7. Number 2, select the response that correctly shows 803,000. So that's 803, comma, 219 and 600s written in expanded form. So you had to have the 800,000 first. All of them had that. Then you had to have the 3,000. Only 2 of them had that. So you're down to B or C being right. Then you had to have 200 and B had 219. So that one's out. So C is the last one. In the expanded form, you have to have everything broken down into place value. So 2C. 3 was wrong. I hope you guys found it wrong too. I know Javen did. We got 19,278 and that wasn't one of the answers. And I checked and checked, but 3 times 6 just doesn't come out with any of those endings. So number 3, wrong. Number 4, select all the measurements that are about a foot long. The height of a door, no, that's like 7, 8 feet. The length of a book, yeah, that's about a foot. The height of a house, no. The width of a credit card, no, tiny, couple of inches. The height of a laptop computer screen, yeah, that's about a foot too. Fill in the circles to select the category of measure for each angle. So 90 degrees, remember, is just like this. It's when things are exactly square, like a chair, okay? So this first one is less than 90 degrees, A. The second one here is greater than 90 degrees, B. And the third one is greater than 90 degrees, C. These are called obtuse angles when they're really big. And this one is called an acute angle when it's really small. We're going on to spiral review 8. If you guys have any questions too, speak up. Number 1, fill in the circles to select the decimal form of each number name. I'm just going to show it to you because I can't really read it. First one was B, second one was H. Number 2, on spiral review 8, how do you know how many places to move the decimal point when multiplying by power of 10? Write your answer in the space below. You should have written something to the effect that every time you multiply it, the number is getting bigger. And so the decimal is moving to the right one place. And when you divide it, the number is getting smaller. So the decimal is moving to the left one place for each power of 10. Number 3. Select the answer choice that correctly orders the following numbers from greatest to least. So I looked at this problem and decided that I was going to have to convert them all to the same thing so I could compare them. So I wrote them all as fractions over 1,000. So the first one, 55 100ths, is the same as 550 1,000ths. The second one, 505 thousandths, I just wrote as a fraction. The third one, again, 50 1,000ths. And then there's 55 1,000ths. And then I just added zeros to the last one. 550 100ths becomes 5,500 1,000ths. Okay. The last one is tricky because it's more than 1 if you were to do that division. And so it's definitely the biggest number. So I knew it had to start with the greatest being the very last number, 550 over 100. So that leaves me with only C or D that could be correct. The second biggest one would be the 550 over 1,000. The very first one, the 555 over 100. So I knew that it was D. D is the answer on that one. Number 4 is C. All you had to do there was take and add up the mileage on Friday and Saturday, and you knew how far she'd hiked, and then you knew the total, so then you subtracted it, and it came out 13.6 miles left. What is true about the product of 8 times 1/2? Well, 8 1/2s are going to be 4 wholes. So the only thing true is the product is greater than 0.5 and less than 8, D. And we're on to the last spiral review for today, spiral review 9. The first one about Angie and Ryan spending the day at the zoo with their friends. You're looking for a way to show, you're actually moving into algebra here and showing what would you do to the number if you knew how many giraffes they saw. And Angie saw twice as many, you're going to multiply it. You're going to multiply it, so it's C. Number 2, what is the sum of 6 3/4 and 3 1/4? You need to know that sum means the answer to an addition problem. You need to add those two up. 6 and 3 is 9. 3/4 and 1/4 is 4/4, or one more. 9 and 1 make 10. 10 is the answer to number 2. Number 3, Jamala drew 3 of these pictures on the board to represent the slices of pie that were eaten. What equation does Jamala's drawing show? So you have to think about her drawing, not this drawing. So this drawing shows 1 times 4 6, but she was showing 3 times 4 6 because she drew 3 of them. So you need to have circled D, 3 times 4 6 equals 2. Number 4, fill in the circles to match the value. I'm just going to show you my chart here. On this one, I had to put the numbers together. So I had to add them so that I could take a look at them to see whether they were less than, equal to, or greater than that number. So here's what I got. You can freeze the screen and take a look at it if you'd like. I added up the numbers and then I chose. So C, D, I, K. And there's one more number 9 review on the back page. You might not have seen that one. Question has 2 parts. What could this number be? A number that is not equal to 7.9, but rounds to 7.9 when rounded to the nearest 10th. So that number could only be 7.91, 7.92, 7.93, or 7.94, because when it gets to 7.95, it's going to round up to 8. What does the unknown number round to when rounded to the nearest whole? And again, that's 8. All right, friends, that's it for the spiral review today. For tomorrow, let's do pages 10, 11, and 12.